You got hurt? Do you need a hug? Is it all better now? Okay.
Well, we're the Myers family. Lyle, Chelsea.
We have two girls, Louise and Eleanor, and they're 8 and 4, almost 5.
Yeah.
We've been going to the quarry for 2 years solidly,
Yep.
almost.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I grew up in a very Christian-centered household. My grandma was the matriarch of our family, and she made sure that we went to church every Sunday. I worked at Trout Lake Camp for my teen years. I fell out of my faith at the end of college, where I still believed in God, but I didn't have a relationship with God.
Alcohol kind of filled. I used alcohol to fill the void, that empty void that, because you're trying to search for something. Alcohol filled that void. From there was, spending materialistic, trying to fill the void with, materialistic things, just purchasing things, whatever can help, worrying about that outward appearance of, everything's okay with us. We live that ideal life, and for me personally, it came an implosion for myself, just broken by a world that hated me, that brought me down. Had a breakdown, ended up kind of looking self-harm, just something to take away the feelings I had, and ended up having the police called on me, removed from my house, got put on a hold, and from there kind of coming back to my life, Chelsea, the girls, trying to pick up the pieces, if you will, of what had happened. And for me, I think my big moment of I had an album come in for my favorite band, and the final lyric of the entire album is, or the final chorus is, "Set your sight on the impossible, grace will be unstoppable." And I literally put down my headphones and went upstairs to Chelsea and was like, we gotta go to church on Sunday. I got questions. And lo and behold, I think the first sermon back was actually the confronting Christianity questions.
Yeah, for me, it was alcohol, and I turned to it whenever I was upset, whenever I was lonely, whenever me and Lyle had problems, stress, anxiety, I turned to alcohol. And the weekend that he went into the hospital, I called his friend and I said, "I'm getting him out of the hospital. I need you to come sit with him because I need Jesus this weekend, and I need to come to church, and I need to be surrounded by God's love." And the quarry was the only place I could think of to do that. I came into service and you sang "Reckless Love," and it was all about, the one sheep that wanders, and God goes after them. And I just felt really connected to that song, and really connected to the fact that no matter how many times I've wandered, God keeps fighting for me. It was after a sermon that Pastor Michael, I believe, did about how if you're not honest with yourself, then you can't be honest with God. We got in the car afterwards, and I had been lying to Lyle about my drinking, and I looked at him and I said, I'm lying to myself, and I'm lying to you, and I'm lying to God about how bad this is. And I think I got sober that week. I don't remember what I was going through. I just know I was struggling with staying sober at that moment. And I was really stressed, and I wanted to drink, and I picked up my phone and called Betsy and was like, "Can you pray with me?" And we prayed over the phone. But I think it's just so important to let people know that you don't have to be a perfect Christian to come to church, because there's no such thing as a perfect Christian. You don't have to be in a perfect place. You can be struggling with addiction. You can be struggling with a lot, and still come to church. You don't have to be a perfect Christian to realize that Jesus is the one. Okay.